Hey everybody, what is going on? Hexlex here. I got another Master Duel video for you. So we're coming back to Mannadium, but this time we're doing a slightly different take on it. This time I am doing Bystial Mannadium as opposed to the previous build, which had a small Kashtira engine, but was what you would kind of think of as more of a quote-unquote pure Mannadium build. I kind of say quote-unquote pure Mannadium because, like, with any Mannadium build, you're not only going to be using Mannadium cards, or even just Mannadium cards plus Visas Starfrost. You do pretty much always need at least some amount of a Scareclaw package for Mannadium to be able to make their plays. So, yeah, I wouldn't call the last deck... Oh, it's weird, because I would and would not call the last deck pure Mannadium as well. It's just that Mannadium tends to get played as a kind of a Visas Starfrost pile most of the time. But the Bystial variant was one that seems to be gaining a decent bit of traction and popularity, so I figured I'd go ahead and try it out for myself. A lot of the major differences that we're going to see here in this build are, instead of playing, obviously, the Kashtira cards like before, as well as some of the more, like, kind of staple-y cards, like Triple Tactics Talent, or just general good tools like that, we're instead subbing them out for a Bystial package, as well as a couple of copies of Assault Synchron. I also decided to go ahead and try out the Mannadium Torrid in this build in particular, although this is a card that I've been wanting to test in Mannadium in the pure variant kind of as well. The idea behind Torrid is that it is basically a fourth copy of Meek, but it's a little bit worse than Meek because, like, Torrid can get Meek, but obviously Meek can't get Torrid, which does definitely come up sometimes. I don't know how I feel about Torrid moving forward. I think I'd have to test it out a little bit more. But, I don't know. It was okay, I guess. So, I think that's kind of how I feel about this build overall, to be totally honest. Is, like, it's fine, I guess, compared to the, like, quote-unquote pure build. But I'm really not feeling this variant as much. I won't lie to you. I could definitely afford to take out, like, the Assault Synchrons and maybe even one of the Lubellions. Like, you definitely don't need to go all in on, like, the kind of Bystial style stuff that I'm playing here. But, like I said, I had to cut out the Kashtira package, which I enjoyed playing very much. I thought it was very good. A lot of cards like Triple Tax that I also enjoyed playing very much. And I even had to cut some, like the third Reichheart and, like, the second Arrival. Some of the kind of main deck stuff, like the Imaginings and Reframing, those Mannadium cards aren't here either. Some of this main deck stuff that wasn't, like, super necessary, but at the same time, I think I still like that all better than the Bystial package, frankly. I'm not saying that this variant is bad by any means. Not at all, not at all. I just didn't particularly find anything that this variant was doing too much more compelling than the regular versions. Not enough so that, again, I wanted to remove all of those additional tools that I had to take out for the Bystial cards. And again, like I said, could easily see myself dropping the Assault Synchrons and, like, the Lubellion. Because, like, here's the thing, too, right? One of the main reasons I think to play this package is to play the Chaos Ruler, which we all know Chaos Ruler is a good card. This is obviously a very good card. The kind of problem, I think, with, like, playing Chaos Ruler and Bystials, but not something like Assault Synchron, is that, like, what are we really trying to excavate off of Chaos Ruler if we don't play Assault Synchron, right? Like, by the time we make a Chaos Ruler, it's too, I think, late in the combo for, like, excavating a Rim or a Reichheart to be very impactful. Excavating a Visas might matter at that point in the combo line, but Visas is also, like, very, very searchable. We could also just play a third copy, too. Like, I mean, like, our pure build, right? Like, in our current... or our last, I guess, pure build, we were playing 2 Visas and a Pearly Rhino. We could just play a third Visas if we wanted to, so... I guess the other compelling reason to play the Bystials is the idea that Bystial monsters are very good in this meta, which they are. I'm definitely not going to deny that. Branded and Dragon Link are definitely the two most popular decks right now. And stuff like Mathmech, which is also very susceptible to Bystials, is still a very, very good deck, even if it's not being ran as much as it maybe should be. The other thing, though, is that, like... The other thing, too, I guess, is that I personally have a hard time in this meta, even though Bystials are good. Like, the disruption they offer is very relevant against a lot of the top meta decks right now. I just personally have a hard time playing a Bystial and that being enough to end the opponent's turn. I'm not saying that it should be. I guess what I'm alluding here to is the fact that the Bystials, while they do come up a lot, I don't think are necessarily impactful enough for me personally to want to play this variant. I guess all of this is my roundabout way of saying, like, there are reasons to play stuff like this in Mannadium, like the Bystials and the Assault Synchrons and the Chaos Ruler, and I don't think it is bad to do so. I just don't think the reasons that make it good are good enough for me personally to want to play this variant over the pure one. But again, I still want to give it a shot, and we'll still, of course, take a look at these games. This is definitely one of those builds where I am super open to, like, people who want to, like, kind of analyze this build, because I could very easily just be building this variant wrong. I kind of wondered if I was doing that as I was playing the games. I'm like, did I build this variant right? But I kind of felt like I did, so I don't know. As always, ever though, I am open to the idea of being wrong. I am only human, so if you have any suggestions for a build for Bystial Mannadium, definitely don't be shy to let me know in the comment section below. Because again, I kind of didn't see it when I played these games. I won't lie, I didn't see the reason to play this over the previous Mannadium build. But in any case, let's go ahead and break this list down card by card, and then we'll see those games that I played. So we are on 3 Maxx, 2 Assault Synchron, 3 Mannadium Meek, there it is, 1 Mannadium Torrid, 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, 2 Scareclaw Reichheart, 3 Mannadium Riumheart, 2 Visas Starfrost, 1 Bystial Magnamhut, 2 Bystial Saronir, 1 Bystial Druiswarm, 3 Bystial Lubellion, 1 Reinforcement of the Army, 1 Scareclaw Arrival, 3 Mannadium Abscission, 2 Primitive Planet Reichphobia, 3 Peaceful Planets Calarium, 1 Branded Regained, 2 Call by the Grave, and then 1 Crossout Designator. Let's go do it for our main deck. For the extra deck, we are on 2 Vicious Astraloud, 1 Chaos Ruler, the Chaotic Magical Dragon, 1 Accel Synchro Stardust Dragon, 1 Baronne de Fleur, 1 Bystial Dis Pater, 1 Chaos Angel, 2 Scareclaw Light-Heart, 1 IP Masquerena, 1 Cross Sheep, 1 Spright Elf, 1 Apollusa Bow of the Goddess, 1 Accesscode Talker, and then finally 1 Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. That's going to do it for our list. Let's go ahead and see those games now. Okay, finally back to ranked ladder games, which means I finally know what we're going up against before I start the duel itself, the replay. This is going to be a 60-card branded deck that we're going to be squaring off against for our first game here. Not a bad hand. Got the Rim, the Visas, a couple Bystials, and a Maxx, so we should have some good plays here. The Ash Blossom, though, on the Rim is going to make that a little bit more tricky. As a result, it becomes a lot more difficult for us to be able to actually, like, make plays. To the point where I'm just going to go to my end phase here. I really couldn't do anything, honestly, because Rim by itself doesn't link into anything in my extra deck. Like, if I just could have gotten this in the graveyard, I could have summoned a Bystial monster, I could have popped with Visas, gone for the Light-Heart, done a Scareclaw line, and been able to establish a board. Here, though, again, I can't put the Riumheart in the graveyard. Visas cannot pop Riumheart because they have the same type and attribute. So, yeah, I'm just not able to really do anything else here. Alright, opponent's going to lead with that grass looks greener. Yeah, things are definitely not looking the best for me. It's funny that they hit all 3 Drolls right in a row there at the end of that grass. Albion is going to proc Branded Fusion coming down next. I'm going to respond to that with the Maxx. I was just about to say, thankfully, it didn't seem like this grass, and I actually talked about this in my most recent Branded Despia deck profile. The grass did not have that much immediate impact. Now, of course, the grass being able to put some stuff in the graveyard can matter later, but keyword being can. One of the things that I find when it comes to playing grass in a 60-card branded deck is that a lot of the time you do actually manage to resolve this card. It just does not have, like, any amount of immediate impact, which can definitely be a bit of an issue sometimes, so... Branded Fusion coming down next. Looks like that is going to fuse Albaz and Nibiru. Opponent going into Albion, the Branded Dragon. Gonna get to draw off that. Drawing another Maxx. Not particularly helpful, but I thought about maybe banishing this Nibiru, but I was like, what are they gonna go for? A Titaniclad? Which is, in fact, what they actually go for here. Mannadium Torrid does open up our plays a lot more. Dogmatica Fleur-de-Lis coming down next, as well as this Springen's Kit. Seems my opponent is trying to go for an OTK in the least amount of special summons possible, which definitely makes sense here. Here, I'm going to summon the Saronir in attack mode. Because they battled with a monster with the same amount of attack points, it's going to force them to crash. And then even though Albion did go to the graveyard, I can just banish it with the other Bystial monster, the Magnamhut here. So the Bystials here did come up, but it was to just chump block and not die, as opposed to actually disrupting the opponent, which is kind of what I was alluding at in the profile earlier. Granted, this is a bit of a unique situation, but again, against decks like Branded, Dragon Link, and Mathmech, I find it difficult for one or even sometimes multiple Bystial monsters to be enough to stop their plays. It's again, well, I kind of questioned if, like, okay, is going out of your way to include the Bystial monsters in this deck for that reason, or I guess for that being one of the major reasons, actually worth it. So looks like they are going to finish up by going into a Mirror Jade here, so recouping at least some of that OTK line a little bit. Summoning the Quem as well. I'm just going to let that resolve, and just like I'm not super concerned about it. That is going to wheel the Mercurier to their hand, which is a little bit annoying, but, you know, I've got a 9 card once I draw for a turn. 9 card hand going into 1 monster negate and 1 banish. It's like, that's fine. Also, this Branded Regained, I will say, was a very, very good top deck here. Lubellion's going to add the other Saronir. That is actually the last target in the deck. Mostly just wanted to make sure... Well, it's funny. I say mostly just wanted to make sure that they didn't have an Ash Blossom, but I know they have a Mercurier. So, but the Bystial Lubellion does, I guess, act as Mercurier bait. I don't really know anybody who would take that bait, but as I've said in very recent videos even, you should definitely give your opponent the opportunity to misplay. Okay, Quem's going to try to bring back this Golden Sword Soul. I'm just going to go ahead and eat it with the Saronir here. Looks like we did manage to force the Mirror Jade as well. That ended up getting our Meek banished. Thankfully, we do still have this Torrid in hand, which makes it a little bit less scary. Opponent is going to stop this as well with the Mercurier, the Riumheart special. That does not matter at all. I still have Abscission, so... even though I have already activated both Riumheart and Visas, it doesn't... Yeah, I'm still able to pop my tuners here. This is where Torrid not being Meek did actually kind of matter, though. I really wanted to have a level 4 tuner, but I couldn't because I popped Torrid and not Meek, so... Not a big deal, though. I can just summon the Druiswarm and sync for 8 that way. I'm gonna go for the Chaos Ruler, as well as the Druiswarm effect. Titaniclad, the unaffected is only for that turn. Also, Druiswarm wasn't summoned from the extra deck, so definitely able to get past the protection there. And yeah, the Mirror Jade effect to banish won't, or to destroy our field is definitely not going to matter here. So I can even still put the Visas on the board by using the Abscission here, even though I couldn't summon Visas via his own effect, but. Light-Heart's going to add a Reichphobia, which we can go ahead and throw down for our other Reichheart. We already have the Arrival in hand, and we actually already have the other Reichheart in hand, too, now that I'm looking at it, so... But it's fine. That's not a big deal at all. Going to use Saronir to send another Lubellion. Oh, summoning the Reichheart in defense mode to get the field spell pop, by the way, in case you were curious about that. Going to make the Baronne next. Baronne can just get rid of the Mirror Jade at this point. Well, I'm not going to do it right away, but... Oh, you know, we don't even need to use Baronne, actually, because, yeah, we still haven't made the Vicious Astraloud yet. Vicious Astraloud is such a ridiculous card. The fact that it's a soft once per turn and you can summon multiple of them per turn makes it far easier than it probably, or at least than it feels like it should be anyway, to OTK a lot of the time. Like, I've talked about this before when it comes to Mannadium, but the deck has a lot better going second ability than a lot of other long-form combo decks, mostly because of Vicious Astraloud being a body that's easy to bring out even after disruption, and also one that removes monsters from the opponent's board and gains attack for it, making it just all very much easier to OTK. But so yeah, there is our first game there against Branded. Let's go ahead and see our next duel now. Alright, Pearly, going to be our next opponent here. Pearly is not a deck I have seen on ladder. This is, I'm not even exaggerating. I don't think I am anyway. I don't think I've played against a Pearly deck before this one since Delicious went to 2, which is definitely a mistake. That deck is definitely still good. Yeah, I guess I don't really know why people aren't on it, to be frank. Well, again, I think it's because Delicious went to 2, but, like, I think the deck is obviously still good. Oh, Pearly went to 2 as well, but, like, yeah, I don't know. It's so bizarre. Like, nobody was on the Ghost Trick variant. Then it did well in October's Duelist Cup. Then everybody was on the Ghost Trick variant. Then they hit Pearly as a whole, but mostly they hit the Ghost Trick variant, and then people act, I don't know, I haven't seen people say this, but with how little people are playing it, it feels to me like people are kind of acting like Pearly is dead. Or at least they're kind of they're just not playing it, like I said. So I don't know, it's really weird. Pearly is in such a weird spot as a result right now. It's I don't know, I kind of personally find it frustrating when it becomes difficult to evaluate a deck for the reason that people just aren't playing it. It just makes it really hard to know if that deck is actually good or not right now. So, Chaos Ruler is going to grab this Assault Synchron, which will allow us to go into a 10 here. Again, as I said before, I kind of feel like that if you're going to play Chaos Ruler, going for something like Assault Synchron is one of the main draws to kind of want to play it. But maybe that's just me again. Gonna make a Dis Pater, as well as the Astraloud. Cross Sheep gets to bring back the Mannadium Meek. Chaos Ruler is gonna go ahead and bring itself back here as well. I don't know, like, this is one of those hands slash lines where I was, like, kind of experimenting, so, like, there probably could have been a more optimal way to play this line out. But again, I was just like, it's not like it looked like a combo guide or anything for this particular variant, so I was very much kind of just, going off of what I knew from the regular, quote-unquote, regular, pure, whatever you want to call it, variant, as well as just, I guess just trying to make an endboard that looked halfway decent, I don't know. Alright, so Torrid and Chaos Ruler. Oh, this is what I had to do that wasn't optimal. I had to make the Chaos Angel using Torrid. Which, like, I don't know, maybe I could have finagled this a little bit better. I think the other mistake I made was not using Arrival sooner. Maybe I should have done that. No, I don't know if I could have, though, honestly. Because I don't think we actually... Well, we banished Visas and Reichheart pretty early. Yeah, I might have been able to save it. Who knows? Well, I mean, there is an answer. It's not like a who knows, we'll never know kind of a thing, but, you know. Anyway, you'll notice I'm just letting my opponent kind of do stuff with their Pearly cards here. I'm not negating anything in particular. It's because I don't really feel threatened by what they're doing, honestly. My main plan right now is to disrupt them by using IP to use their Pearly as an Xyz, or as a link material when it tries to activate its effect and use itself as an Xyz material. The regular Pearly is just going to grab another My Friend here. That's completely fine. Yeah, I'm going to go into Druiswarm right now before they have a chance to activate the effect. And then, yeah, even before they use the effect, I'm just going to go ahead and go for it. Just going to go for the Underworld Goddess. This will not only use the Pearly as a material, but it will also use the Druiswarm effect to send the Pearly. So, yeah, now they have to Happy Memory for the other Pearly. And now I can just use Dis Pater's effect to remove it. So, mainly I wanted to save, and this is kind of what I always tend to do. Not always, but what I tend to do against most boards when I'm disrupting with a board state like this, is I try to save the Omni for last if possible. Just because it can hit anything, and whatever your opponent saves for last is more likely to be the kind of gotcha card that's going to throw a wrench in your plans. So, that's not always viable. Sometimes you do have to use your Omni Negate to, for example, negate like a spell or a trap card if you otherwise only have monster effect negates. But generally, if possible, I do advise trying to save the Omni for last, which we were able to do here. So that also can often involve, or rather, that often does involve knowing how the opponent is going to try to find outs or what their outs are. In this case, I knew that for finding outs or really plays of any kind in particular, my opponent with their setup was probably going to be very likely on relying on the Pearly monster effects, which is, again, why I didn't feel the need to use the Baron on any of the spell or trap cards that were coming in, because I knew they were all leading to getting a Pearly on the field to try to activate its effect. So, yeah, there we go. There is that duel there. We have a couple more to see. Let's go into the next one. Alright, so this game, we're going to be up against Vanquish Soul. Good old VS. Let's go ahead and hop into this duel here. Looks like we are going to be taking the first turn. Okay, we have Reichphobia Meek Lubellion, which is not an obvious combo line, but I'm still going to try to see if I can do something with this. Gonna Lubellion for Saronir, just in case I need to Saronir banish Lubellion and put another Lubellion in the graveyard. Gonna normal summon the Meek, gonna have to Ash Blossom that. So here's what kind of makes this a little bit awkward, right? I can use Visas, pop Meek, summon Visas, and obviously another Meek, the thing is, at that point, I'm not really going to be able to do much with the, like if I go Visas into the Light-Heart, for example, sure I can add Reichphobia, but then I can't add a Reichheart because I've already used the Reichphobia to add the Visas. Actually, I should have just used Reichphobia to add Reichheart. I could have normal summoned Reichheart, added the Arrival, specialed the Meek. But then I wouldn't have had a way to pop Meek, but I could have just summoned Saronir and synced for Chaos Ruler. I don't know. It's weird. It's kind of weird. Okay, here we're gonna Spright Elf, bring back the Meek, and then just pass. Oh yeah, I couldn't Saronir because I tried to, but they had a Magnamhut. I was like, why didn't I go for Chaos Ruler here? Yeah, okay. I tried to Saronir, but again, couldn't, so. Okay, they're gonna lead with the Raisin directly across from the Elf. Elf's gonna add the Borger. Raisin F, reveal the Xiaolong to blow up my Elf, which is fine. It's whatever. Oh, and then we also get to Maxi off the Xiaolong draw. The opponent's going to Caesar Valius in response. I was just waiting to Elf at the end here, just before I got popped, so I get to bring back another Meek, but it's pretty much just going to be a chump blocker at this point, so just kind of hoping I don't die this turn. I don't think I will, and it's not like the most likely thing. Yeah, I'm just going to move straight to battle phase here. Okay, Borger F activating, bouncing the Valius to summon itself. Then revealing a Druiswarm to draw a card. So that's definitely not the best for me. For them to have a Bystial. It makes it difficult for me to use my Bystials. Which I guess this is honestly one of the easiest ways for Bystials to be good is against other Bystials in the format. Because it's not even just that. Here's the thing, right? It's not even just that Bystial monsters are good in this meta. It's that a lot of the best decks are also just using them right now. Vanquish Soul pretty much always has them, as we're seeing here. D-Link is obviously going to have them. Branded obviously going to have them. And then, yeah, Mannadium also very capable of playing them. It's just like, again, it's like the Bystials, we actually saw this in the tier limit format as well. The Bystials, when they kind of get out of hand, tend to be a bit of a self-feeding machine, where it's like, oh, Bystials are good in the format, so we'll bring in Bystials. But Bystials are also good against Bystials, which promotes bringing in more Bystials to not only counter the things that Bystials are already good against, but also the Bystials themselves, so. It makes me very glad that Magnamhut and Druiswarm are at 1. Honestly, I was actually just saying this, I think, the other day. Like, I am so glad those cards came in at 1 and we didn't have to wait for them to go to 1. Like, I can't fathom. I really can't fathom, honestly, playing with 3 Magnamhut and 3 Druiswarm for an extended period of time. I don't know how paper players did it, but yeah, I'm gonna try to Maxi here, but like it's just not looking good in general. This VS player just kind of had too many counters at this point. Like, I can Rhoda for the Rim, but that doesn't, like, I can summon it too, but it's like, that doesn't do a whole lot here. Yeah, they're just gonna Valius and pop my card before I even have a chance to pop it, so I'm gonna throw it in fast forward, because I think I was pretty much just done after this point. Oh no, we still have the Astraloud, okay. Okay, Visas popping Astraloud. Bringing back Light-Heart, going for Cross Sheep, and then the second Astraloud. It's just not enough, though, unfortunately. Oh yeah, I do get to Baron here as well. And yeah, because of Snow Devil, can't pop the opponent's Vanquish Soul cards with card effects, so. Yeah, here at this point, I'm just like, gonna have to hope Baron is enough. I use the Baron on the Caesar Valius here, or in the Raisin. Opponent's gonna chain Valius. That will not stop the Raisin from getting negated, but then they can just triple attack, take control, pop, and then yeah, this is lethal right here. So, pretty standard game for Vanquish Soul. Honestly, this is how they typically like their games to play out. Utilizing the disruption and then incremental advantage to control out the opponent and then get the W. So, good stuff there on the Vanquish Soul player's part. We have one more duel to check out. Let's go straight into that here. And our final opponent is going to be on Live Twin Spright. Not a Synchro variant, just regular Live Twin Spright. They are pulling in Ibly, which is kind of cute. But yeah, we recently covered this deck. I maintain that this is the best Spright variant right now. Opponent's going to start off with a Maxi. Thankfully, we have the Called By, and we definitely have enough gas with a hand like this to go off. Ah, just realized I showed all going first games. Oh well, it's fine. Anyway, so Called By, banishing the Maxi, Calarium F, we're going to add the Riumheart here. Going to normal summon Rim to add the Meek, and I already have the Visas in hand, so this is pretty much just a full combo at this point. Alright, Visas popping the Meek, Meek and Calarium Fs are both going to proc, and chain block the Meek with the Calarium just in case they happen to have like an Ash Blossom or a Gamma or something, so. Alright, level 4 Meek and Riumheart going for the Assault Synchron Stardust, or Assault Synchro Stardust, rather. Yeah, I mean, by this point, this is pretty much just like a fairly standard Mannadium combo line. I'm trying to remember if I end up trying to weave in the Magnamhut at all, or if I just kind of leave it in hand as Disruption. That's the other thing about playing Bystials with, like, these kind of dedicated combo lines that can be a little bit tricky. Maybe I just don't know the deck well enough to recognize this at this point, but, like, kind of trying to figure out if and when you can actually sneak in a Bystial body to become part of the main combo line, or whether to hold it for a Disruption. It can be a little bit hard to know sometimes. I don't... Okay, looks like I do end up using it here. Banishing the Light-Heart. Oh, I think I needed... No, I didn't need to summon Magnamhut here, but I think by doing this... Okay, now I think we're just going for Chaos Roar, so I'm just diverting from the combo line at this point. I thought I actually didn't. I thought I went for a standard combo line and kept Magnamhut as Disruption here, but I guess not. Yeah, but here, I mean, this is kind of a perfect example of why I think Chaos Ruler is honestly, like, a little bit mid, frankly. Like, the best thing I think we actually did here with it was set up the Branded Regained with the Lubellion here. And it's like, I don't know, do I really think going out of my way to do a different combo line, and not only do a different combo line, but also, like, include so many engine pieces in the deck, like, just a Chaos Ruler for a Lubellion to cycle for a Regain? Like, do I actually think that's worth it? I'm kind of inclined to say no, frankly. Like, I kind of don't think it is, but again, I am also open to the idea that I am just missing something. Oh yeah, here I end up making the Apollusa, because I didn't really know what to do with my leftover bodies. Like, I didn't... Again, maybe I could have comboed a little bit more efficiently. I mean, to be fair, this is still not a bad end board. Elf target protecting the Baron and the Apo is very, very scary, and it is enough to make my opponent snap concede. It's just like... I don't know, this is one of those situations where, like, okay, here, my end board was better. I would call that end board better, and it was a result of having the Bystial monsters, but, like, is it better enough to justify playing all this extra stuff in the main, not playing other stuff that I could be maining, just to have, like, a slightly better turn one combo where I probably would have won with the regular combo line anyway? I don't know. I struggled to personally see the worth. But again, I'm totally free and open to the idea that I'm missing something, or that I'm just, like, deck building wrong, or executing the line wrong. So if you have any suggestions in that regard, definitely feel free to throw those down in the comments below. But that's going to go ahead and do it for this video. That's all the duels I got for this one. So let us now move to our outro. Alright everybody, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you for watching it all the way to the very end. That means a whole lot to me, and it's also a fantastic way to support the channel. And if you're interested in supporting the channel in other ways besides YouTube, there are plenty of ways to do that. If you check out the description below, you'll find a bunch of links down there. One of them goes to my Patreon. You're actually seeing the names of everyone subscribed to the Patreon on the screen right now. So if you're interested in getting your name in the credits here at the end, if you want to see more daily Master Duel content, or if you're interested in one-on-one private coaching sessions, I offer all of that on Patreon. I also stream live on Twitch. Feel free to go ahead and click that link and follow and or subscribe there. I also have the Discord community, if you want to follow that link, where hundreds of duelists have already signed up. Free to join, and you can just come hang out, talk about the game, and chill in general. Final link that's going to be in the description is my Twitter. You can follow that if you want some more notifications of what's happening with the channel. So All in all, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day.